I'm Mike Piontek. I made a little point-and-click adventure game in World Builder from 1986 for the original Macintosh, and now I'm making a point-and-crank version for Playdate. Today I'm working on the little text boxes that appear when you choose an action. It looks pretty good if the text is short enough that it all fits, but sometimes it doesn't. So I need to make this scroll. I already have a TextBox class and a separate file that handles everything related to text boxes. Down at the bottom here, I have a show function that I can call to make a text box appear with some text inside. I determine how big the box needs to be in order to contain all the text it has. Then I create an image and draw the text into that image. It's much more efficient to animate an image moving around than it is to redraw a complex text layout for every single frame that it animates. Here, I have a process input function that's called anytime I need to determine what the player is doing. First, I check if the up button is pressed, and if it is, then I move the text up a little bit, set the new offset, and then tell the Playdate it needs to update that sprite. I do the same thing for the down button here, and then I also check for the B button in case the player is trying to dismiss the text box. Next, I have a draw function that's called anytime the sprite needs to be redrawn. Here I take the image of the text we created and figure out the section of that image I need to display for the current scroll offset, the source rect. Then I draw that section of the image. So let's run it and see how it looks. Great. We can scroll up and down and press B to dismiss. It's pretty good, but it could be a little better. If you look at a system menu, when you scroll all the way up or all the way down, you get a nice little bounce here that makes it clear that your input is understood. You just can't go any further. So it'd be nice if we could do something similar in our text box. So I added this max rubber band property that says, hey, if the player scrolls all the way to the top or the bottom, let them scroll just a little bit further. First, I figure out how far past they've already scrolled. Then I calculate the change to add a little resistance. So the more they scroll, the less of a difference it's going to make. Then I set the new offset and tell it to update. Then if they've just released the button, I set it back to where it's supposed to be, remove that rubber band value, and tell it to update again. So let's see how that looks. Great. Now we get a nice little bounce to make it clear you're at the top or at the bottom. Much better. Thanks for watching.